Rugby league
quite
is
big. This is something
that will let you just see the world in a different way.
It gives you a lot more than it takes away.
It's a sport that is hard work.
You make friends for the rest of your life.
Being in a team of like-minded, literally life-changing.
Good evening, my name is Billy Forrester. I am the team manager for Wales Students Rugby League programme. I'm also the commercial manager and founder of North Wales Origin Rugby League representative team. And I am also co-head coach of the Flintshire Falcons. How did I get involved in rugby league? As most people do in Wales, I was a rugby union player. I played rugby union from 8 years old up until I was, say, 17. I went for a trial for the local rugby league team, which was North Wales Crusaders academy team. I progressed into the academy, played 2 years there. Then I found myself playing for Flintshire Falcons at the time. This was back in maybe 2012. And from there, I just became infatuated with the sport. I thought it was the best sport in the world. Just a game that I don't think rugby union even rivals it. I think it's the best sport on earth. And yeah, that's how I got involved in rugby league. My journey in rugby league has been a very interesting one. I obviously started off as a player with the Crusaders Academy. I played a bit of open age rugby within Wales. After that, the programme folded in Wales. I went and travelled to England, to Chester, to play rugby, where I spent 3 good years at Chester Gladiators. We won a treble. Had some really good times there. And then I progressed to Fatter Reef in St Helens. Played for their third grade for a while. And now I play for Latchford Albion, which are in Warrington. I really enjoy playing at Latchford. Obviously, while I've been doing this, I've managed to progress myself off the field as well. So I started founding the representative team in North Wales, which is North Wales Origin. I've had 3 good years of that now. We've built a great committee. We're progressing really well. It's been a learning curve. Off the back of that, I've managed to learn how to team manage, and I've been fortunate enough to take up a position with Wales Rugby League on a voluntary basis with the student programme. So, my progression through the sport has been very interesting as well. My time in these roles has been very challenging. It has. I've had to learn how to do social media, how to present ourselves across as teams. I think the sport in general is not very well advertised. I think they could use social media a lot better, and I think a lot of people are starting to realise this. So yeah, my challenges have been mainly how I express myself, how we get people to trials, how we can make people more aware of rugby league, how we present ourselves. It's not a game like it used to be where you could go down the pub and get 4 more players for the weekend. I think especially coronavirus, that's challenged us massively. So my challenges have been more thinking outside the box. How can we develop the sport and how can we make it more accessible and also more inclusive? As a player, I've had many iconic moments. I've been very fortunate to win 2 trebles, so a cup, a league leader shield and a grand final for 2 different clubs. These were at 2 different levels and both were as sweet as each other. Very fortunate to be a part of some big teams and be working hard for each other. On the back of that, I've also travelled to the Netherlands to play rugby, where we won a grand final. I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people around Europe, speak to a lot of people around Europe, and I've took my abilities to other countries and really enjoyed it. If we're talking professional iconic moments, I think one that will always stick with me, despite being Warrington fan. There's two. There's Ryan Hall intercepting the ball against Huddersfield Giants and scoring with seconds to go to win the game and ultimately win the league leader shield. And also, I think the most recent grand final where Wellesby chased down the kick and scores, which is obviously a crazy moment with a matter of minutes left to go, maybe even seconds. So yeah, some great iconic moments there. I can't say I know too much about rugby league in Africa. However, I do think that it has great potential. There's obviously, Ghana has shown that there is an appetite for the sport in Africa. I think rugby is a great game to be able to develop because you don't particularly require a lot of equipment in terms of, let's say, for example, hockey, you would need a stick, a ball. I think rugby, as long as you have a ball, you can pretty much crack on with it. And I just love the growth of the sport. I love it whether it's in Europe, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Australia. I love to see the game growing, and I think there's very much high potential for Africa to, we'll see a lot of international sides cropping up soon, and I believe that they could be one of the superpowers in the sport. As mentioned previous, I think that there is a lot of potential for rugby league to take up a new direction. There's a lot of old ways in rugby league. People don't really think modernly when it comes to rugby league, so I believe that for sponsors and stakeholders and stuff, you just need to interact with them. There's a lot of people who like to tap people up for money and then never speak to them. I think rugby league is all about building a community. That it's not only just your players, it's also your stakeholders, your sponsors, supporters, whether it's your voluntary staff, whether it's your players on the day. I do believe that rugby league is a community game, and that's something that can be very beautiful if done correctly.